Actor Danny Glover is the co-producer of the film that is premiered here at the Sundance Film Festival called the Black Power Mixtape. We'll come back to our conversation with him. We also speak with him about Haiti. Stay with us. James Brown, I'm black and I'm proud. Here on Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, The War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman. We're broadcasting from the Sundance Film Festival in Park City, Utah, as we return to my interview with the actor, the activist, co-producer of the Black Power Mixtape, Danny Glover. So here we are at Sundance Film Festival, which is a celebration of independent films. Yeah. Talk about the importance of independent films.
I mean, this is one of the great, for me, after all the blockbusters and everything, this is one of the great moments, I believe, in my career. To be able to kind of support the independent film, independent thinking, and certainly, if you take the whole genre of independent film, and I'm using the word genre, but if you take independent films, and they invariably have some influence on the industry anyway. Their independent film is where the real work that actors get a chance to do, where and this is what Sundance is so brilliant about documentary films, you know, and documentaries and everything. It's so brilliant with this work about that, supporting the idea of documentaries. And when it does that, documentaries are our place and our way of establishing our relationship to what is happening to us. You know, this is only where there's some sort of context in which we can look at what has happened to us and have opinions on it, disagree with it, discuss it, and have a discourse about it, and how perhaps whether the documentary is about climate, whether they're documents about healthcare, whatever they are, perhaps have some chance of understanding what the core issues are.
Certainly the film that you've co-produced, this film, Black Power Mixtape, is about movements 40 years ago. And the question is, well, another of the people here, the big films here, is about Harry Belafonte, and yes, he is here. And he is raising this question. He said that he feels like he has failed now as he looks back, whether there will be a new generation of activists following what has been accomplished over the decades as he walked with King and his activism, aside from his artistry and his music. How do you feel about that?
I don't sense that of course, we have a 20-year span in our age, and I don't think, and there's so much work that has to be done. But I have no sense of failure. I'm an eternal optimist as well, you know, and I believe that as Paul Robeson said, each generation makes its own history. They make their own history. And I think that this generation that now is going to make their history. They're going to have to respond to the crisis, whether it's the climate crisis, or whether it's the financial crisis, the crisis of poverty in the world, the crisis of inequity in the world. They're going to have to deal with that, you know, and they're going to have to listen outside of the framework and the constructs that they often have really dictated their lives or structured their lives and everything. They're going to have to do that and understand that when we can be here forcing that issue, talking about that, and talking about what the question is that if we're going to talk about democracy, what is democracy? And as I said the other night, whose democracy does it belong to? You know, and that's the fundamental question here. And once we begin to tackle that and struggle against that, we have a chance, you know, because the powers that be are going to find every way to undermine it, to subvert it, to stop our voices, to cut off our resources, and find out a way they can do that. But the question is that we have to believe that we can do this and continue to do this.
Before we end, I want to talk about one of the great crises of today, and it's Haiti, a country that is very close to your heart. You've been making a movie about Haiti for a long time. You visited President Aristide last February in South Africa, who was forced out. We have seen the horrendous earthquake and the effects of that. Over 300,000 people killed, 1 million displaced. Now this cholera outbreak.
Yeah.
And now we see baby Doc Duvalier, a man responsible for the deaths of I don't know how many thousands of people, the dictator of Haiti who followed his father, Papa Doc Duvalier, the dictator before him, return when Aristide has not been able to. What are your thoughts?
It certainly is painful, you know. I like Frederick Douglass, often refer to myself as a Haitian at heart. And it's unacceptable that President Aristide is not there with his people. It's unacceptable that the State Department can say to us that there is no history or there's no future for President Aristide. And
let's be clear, P.J. Crowley, the State Department spokesperson, sends out in a Twitter message, he tweets that Aristide is the past, we have to look to the future in Haiti. You were talking about whose democracy. Maybe we can extend it to Haiti.
You know, this country, these people have been under siege for more than 200 years. After the moment after its independence, it's been under siege. And let's not lie about it, in every way, in every administration from that time on, from Jefferson to Madison to Clinton to Bush, all of them, every single one of them has done something to undermine Haiti's ability to stand on its own feet. These people are so resilient. They are incredible. They're organizing now. They're organizing in the midst of this chaos, in the midst of cholera, in the midst of the earthquake, in the midst of the lack of functioning government. They're organizing. You know what I'm saying? That every single president, every single administration has been responsible for what's happened, and every one of them. Yet we don't know that. We don't know any of that. We don't have any of that information right now. But right now, you're going to tell me that he is the past, that he has no place and no future in Haiti. Is unacceptable. It's unacceptable that Baby Doc has returned to Haiti. That's unacceptable, and we have to say that's unacceptable. It's unacceptable to sanction of these flawed elections as the United States continues to pressure various countries, pressure the OAS and pressure everyone in order to accept these. It's unacceptable, and we're gonna have to, wherever we find, they're standing up for themselves. When they knock down the fences and refuse to be denied the right to vote during an election of Proval, they made a statement. They want their country back. They want their sovereignty back. They want their independence back. That's what the Haitian people want. And this is speaking from a Haitian at heart.
And what is it you think the U.S. finds so? Why will the U.S. not allow Aristide to return? Why was the U.S. involved in the coup against him 1991 to 1994?
And the other coup in
2004, where they sent him off to the Central African Republic into exile with his wife Mildred Aristide, and then he ends up in exile in South Africa, continually saying he wants to return. What is it the U.S. has against this democratically elected leader of Haiti?
Well, I don't know what respect the United States has for democracy anyway, and for people's right for self-determination anyway. I don't know really if they have that. I think it's part of an ideal. It's certainly, I mean, but it was part of an ideal. You know, we know our own history. It's part of an ideal. The Bill of Rights came out of not from the fathers of the Republic. It came from people demanding something more than that piece of paper. So, well, yeah. What it is that they must, at every point in time, undermine the possibilities of democracy in Haiti, and Aristide represents that. And now you can say whatever you want about Aristide, the fact that he was elected, but in every way, Haiti represents something to the hemisphere. Haiti becoming a true democracy, a functioning democracy, represents something beyond that. Every single country in that hemisphere connects its relationship, its independence, its own sense of sovereignty, its own sense of nationhood to Haiti.
I know you have to leave. We just have 2 minutes, but the power of film is the power of storytelling.
Yes.
You have been focused on Haiti in terms of film by wanting to tell the story of Toussaint Louverture. And as we wrap up, I was wondering if, in a nutshell, you could tell us that story and why it has grabbed you for so many years as a story you want to pass on to future generations.
Well, it's my story. It's a story Frederick Douglass said in 1893 at the Chicago Fair that we owe so much to Haiti. Jose Marti, the great Cuban Revolution, said we owe so much to Haiti. We owe so much to Haiti, first of all. But it's an extraordinary story, and the only story of its kind ever in the history of human, that we have written in human history, that these slaves revolted and challenged the empire. At the outset of the translation, the new translation, a new construct of capitalism and liberal democracies. Here's this country, this small country, these people who at that particular point stand up and say, it applies to us. That's what they said. It applies to them. They were defining democracy in a different way than even the fathers of democracy in this country were. Even the fathers of the rights of man in France were. They were defining democracy. And that's what makes it special. It challenges us. Struggle never concedes upon demand. Frederick Douglass. And that struggle, whatever it was, the demand for independence, demand for sovereignty, is still within the Haitian people's heart.
Danny Glover, actor and producer. He co-produced with Jocelyn Barnes' Black Power Mixtape, directed by Göran Ugo Olsen. That does it for our show. If you'd like a copy, you can go to our website at democracynow.org. We'll be at the Sundance Film Festival all week, interviewing Harry Belafonte, Robert Redford in these next 2 days. Democracy Now! Is produced by Mike Berkshire, for the producer Armante, Steve Martinez, Nicole Salazar, Honey Massoud, Robbie Karen, Renee Feltz, John Hamilton, Mike DeFilippo, Miguel Noguera, our engineers. Special thanks to Becca Staley, Julie Crosby, Nick Kelly, Hugh Grant, Jessel Noor, and to our Sundance crew, Yorivio Barrios, Mike Scholes, Richard Lavelle, Jim Lemon, Dennis Moynihan, Brenda Murad, and our thoughts are with Mike Burke and the funeral of his mother today. I'm Amy Goodman. Thanks for joining us.